Good morning. Barry Johnson for president. Haven't got all my lights on here. That might be a little better. Now, my campaign has worked hard, has traveled our nation, to listen to some of the silly stories I hear on the news. One of the big ones, Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was able to get there within a couple of days. National news. A huge nuclear event. Smoke clouds measuring radiation for miles. It took me about 2 days to get to Albuquerque. Stayed in a weekly motel. First morning on the news, they talked about all that had happened, and they were the first news reporters on the scene. Caterpillar tractor, a mining vehicle built real low. It collected sawdust and grease and oil, and it caught fire, and that's all the smoke was. There was no nuclear event, and they were quite displeased that the national news had run with it. You may remember this. I looked and found the training camp was in Richmond, Virginia. I went to visit, and it was not a topic of discussion there, but Harry Reid was going to change the law because of it. Wait a little bit there, because that's got to sink in, and it's got to stop. Now, you remember this guy, the peanut farmer. The worst president we ever had. Right? More ridiculed than any president we've had in recent years. But in his retirement from office, he fought the flesh-eating worms in Africa. Because of cell phones and better communication, he was able to spread the word, and it was eradicated. Africa is a little bit more primitive a country than we are. Still believe the old ways, area towards the witch doctors and stuff. But Jimmy Carter was able to make a difference there through communication. Well, I say I eradicated Ebola, the hysteria, especially in this country, by the Spirit. George Washington has talked about the Spirit, and not too many presidents since then. I believe it's the reason we're in trouble today, that we don't surrender ourselves to the Holy Spirit. I know that President Obama never uses his tool belt. Talking about the one where your hammer hangs, you got a bag of nails. These days, you got to have a screw gun, maybe a stapler. But he doesn't use the State Department. And he uses it poorly. If he was smart, he would have let Kerry come back from P5+1, whatever it is, and say, we got a deal. And then Iran would come out and say, well, Kerry's wrong, we don't have a deal. But Obama's not smart. He crashes and burns regularly and likes it. Next story I worked on was 39 people get the measles at Disneyland. I don't believe the story. I've been there several times. If you buy a bag of popcorn, the guy with a broom follows you. You drop one kernel, they come out of the woodwork. I don't know where they come from. They clean the streets with pressure washers or steam on a regular basis. Restrooms are sparkling clean. 39 cases of measles. I love these political cartoons because they can tell the story so well. I don't know if you can see, this is Christie adding logs to the fire. This is presidential candidate Rand Paul with a match. I don't even know who this guy back here is. But you remember the hysteria there? That issue? Immigration children coming across the border. Rand Paul wanted to change the law, force everybody to have immunizations. He even took one himself. Well, where's the outbreak of all these cases of the original 39? Was it a reason to change the law, Rand? And you want to be president? I say in my tweets and on Facebook once in a while, I've got a steady hand. It's the reason I'm alive today. If I believe the first doctor in my first cancer case, my only cancer case, when I couldn't urinate anymore, knew something was wrong, the doctor said I had, 4 organs involved in cancer. Nurse came over and she said, "Do you want me to call the psychologist or the preacher on staff?" I said, "No, ma'am, this isn't going to be a problem." She said, "What do you mean?" She says, "I looked it up on my smartphone. You don't even have close to a 2% survival rate." Well, the urologist came in, started doing some work, and he decided, well, I just had a tumor on my liver, or on my kidney. And it would work up close to the liver. They didn't know if it got there. Nurse came again. "This isn't the mountain either?" I said, "No, this isn't the mountain either. God's going to heal me. He's going to heal me in front of the doctors." And he did. And it's been long enough time now that I don't have cancer again. I must have been healed. Word says, "By my spirit, I will be made flesh." My question is, does the government allow Jesus to return? You see, there's playing God, and there's being a servant to the people. I want to be a servant to the people and let God do his work, because I know God can do more than I can. Thank you, America. Please share this. If you like it real well, send it to the news. If they get a whole bunch of these, they might pay attention to it. Who knows?